Hello friends, 720 days of war between Russia and Ukraine. In the southern war zone on Kherson front, positional battle continues in and around Krinky, and there has been no changes which could be narrated here. After yesterday's swelling of Ukrainians' Krinky bridgehead on the western part. On Zaporizhia front in Orikho sector, Russians regained lost position northeast of Novoprokopivka direction. Counter-battle operation continues along lines of contradiction. Yes, Russians improved their tactical positions in west and southwest of Robotin and west of Verbov. In north, on Kupiansk-Swatow front, Russians made some gains on the western outskirts of Sinkivka, while from Kislivka towards Petropavlovka they advanced almost 200 meters, and on Tabavka front they advanced 200 meters. In Liman direction, Serebryansky and adjacent regions, counter-fights continuing. Russians here retreated from Yar Lapto as well as from the outskirts of Yar Nizhny. In east, in North Soledar-Siversk sector, Russians' offensive operation towards Vimka as well as on the outskirts of Belgorovka has intensified but without any gains. On Bakhmut front, Russians made some small gains towards Andriivka after a long time. Towards East Klishivka, they advanced almost 300 meters after heavy fight. Russian troops, after having taken over Pupovsky, has advanced towards Chasev Yar and only 1.5 kilometers left from the outskirts of Chasev Yar now. Coming to Avdiivka, where it is clear that Ukrainians are not going to withdraw from here, and Russians on their behalf have increased uses of FAB bombs, and reinforcements are being brought from both the sides while offensive and counter-offensive is continuing. Russians' attacks in the northern Avdiivka towards Tonenko and Siversky did not gain anything. Heavy fight continues towards west of railway line and southeast of Kokplan. Russians made gains approximately 200 meters. In south, by and large, positional battle continues. No gains for any side towards Zarskaya Okota. Further south of Avdiivka towards Nevelsky, positional battle continues, while on Pervomaisky front, Russians made some small gains towards Cheburashka direction. On Avdiivka front, heavy losses continue for both the sides, and Russians have made some gains on several fronts. Even if towards air defense military units, Royal Hunt, Pervomaisky, but the advance is now very slow. Main Russian thrust is in the northern Avdiivka and starting from north edge of Quarry towards railway lines and coke and chemical plant to industrial street. Aim is to divide Pervomaisky in two, while Ukrainians seems to be adamant not to leave this place and not to repeat Bakhmut. Coming to Marinka, on the western side, Georgievka direction, Russians are storming this village from the eastern side towards Pobeda. They have advanced towards southern outskirts. Novomikhailivka, Russian assaults continuing inside the village where they have advanced approximately 150 meters, while in north and east of this village they have advanced 300 meters. On Ugledar front, Russians made almost a 1 kilometer gain towards Vodyane. This was a surprise. Interdiction missions, Russians have hit multiple Ukrainian targets in Dnepropetrovsk, Kherson, Nikoloy direction, while Ukrainians' attack on the rear of Russian regions have reduced in recent times. But on front line they are continuing as before, like on Donetsk, Gorlovka, Makivka and other areas, including Belgorod, and using cluster missiles. They have also continuing their attacks on the left bank of Dnieper River. Palestine, Israel, Middle East, as far as Gaza Strip is concerned, in north and center. Nothing special is happening in southern side. IDF continues its attack, though at reduced scale. On Khan Yunis city, they have been bombing now recently on Rafah crossing, where they have killed more than 100 Palestinians. Protest demonstrations continuing in Europe. In UK, the delivery workers plan a strike on Valentine's Day for better pay and working conditions on 14th February. Polish farmers continue blocking Ukrainian grains. German farmers blocked border with its adjacent regions like Poland. Spain blockade and protest continuing, where fishermen and truckers will also join them soon, like what is happening in Netherlands. NATO is increasing its operational readiness in Northeast Europe, like deployment and training, practicing F-16 and other forms of long-distance weapon delivery system, which could hit Russian regions. NATO is continuing its practices in Norway, Finland, Sweden, North Atlantic Ocean and European Arctic regions. What is the aim? They are sure enough that after the defeat of Ukraine, in case Ukraine wins, nothing happens, but after the defeat, they are likely to aid Ukraine by entering the Ukrainian regions as well as from the adjacent regions. In name of Ukraine, they will be launching long-range munitions in Russian territory. Well, the global situation is pretty volatile. Incidentally, there was a massive rally in Egypt in support of Palestine, and that's a warning to newly elected, rather re-elected President Sisi, who is overconfident of his position. From India, thousands and thousands of workers are heading towards New Delhi in India, and they are being stopped by using barbed fencing, hundreds and thousands of armed police and other means, coercion. The demand of these farmers and even workers who are heading to New Delhi to a call given by them, Bharat Bandh, Stop India, on 16th of this month, and I'm sure they will swell up to million, not only in New Delhi but all over India. And the farmers' resistance is very important in view of the forthcoming election, parliament election in India in next 3 to 4 months. The unity of the workers and farmers not only forcing in India but in even European countries, Latin American countries and other places like in Pakistan. Well, that's the end of my talk today, friends. See you tomorrow. Thanks.